No, it's me. It's me, the birthday boy. Oh, his special day.
It is his special day, 28. How does it feel to be old?
I'm starting to feel it. I'll tell you that much. I start to fall asleep around like 10:30, 11 every time without fail. Like I hate it.
I mean, that's a good bedtime. I went to sleep last night, for example, like probably after midnight at some point.
Damn.
We, Kate and I went out with a friend of ours to go see a movie, Migration, and it was just really good, by the way. It's actually like genuinely surprised me. It's that animated one about the geese or the ducks. I mean, not geese.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Aquafina plays a bird in that one.
She plays a pigeon, and so which is fitting. You've also got a beer. I've got this is a non-alcoholic beer. This is a Heineken, 0%.
Yeah, I got the new package of Mind Haze. So yeah.
I got still four of those left. Dude, I brought the 12 pack to that you gave me to the show on that Friday before
Yeah.
New Year's, and I came back home with four. So well, I had only two, and I shared it amongst the band. So I'm pretty sure they must have. I know Jack had like two.
Yeah.
I think like Fabian and Nate. I know Raul had one. I don't remember who else had one. Anyway,
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man.
it was sick. But so I've also got a bunch of that cinnamon dolce stout, which is really good, by the way. I was
Yeah,
pleasantly
dude.
surprised by that. I'm not really into like sweet stouts, but that was cool. Anyway, so back to the movie. So we went to go see Migration last night, and we did a 9 o'clock showing, and we didn't get home until like 11:15, 11. Then we got home 11:15. We were getting ready for bed, and then we didn't actually go to sleep until like after midnight or something. Anyway, but that's usually every night for me these days.
Yeah.
I go to bed late because I'm a bad boy.
Mm.
But yeah, happy birthmas. Can we get a happy birthday in the chat in the comments from everybody?
I certainly
Um,
hope we can. I know I've been getting it on Facebook. I know that much. So yeah.
yeah, those Facebook notifications be hitting all day.
I mean, hey,
Um,
it's the one thing that they're good for right now, honestly. Yeah.
that's really that's the only thing. It's like for your relatives to wish you happy birthday because like only old people use Facebook. But
Yeah, otherwise, Facebook is trying to recommend me like AI content, which is like, what the fuck? Why?
I haven't been on it in ages. I just go there to clear my notifications from time to time. I haven't actually scrolled on their I don't know whatever they call it their timeline.
I guess
What are
you could
these
say timeline. I mean, that makes the most sense.
Facebook feed? I mean, Facebook feed has the alliteration there. That would make sense.
True.
What did they call it before? It was
I think it was like, I could have
I
sworn they
don't know
just called it posts. I'm not sure. Yeah.
for sure. Well, yeah, it was a post.
Yeah.
It's always been a post. I mean, and now Twitter's moved to that,
Yeah,
which
but
is
there was
weird.
like no like weird thing with like Facebook. Like with Twitter, there was tweets. With like Instagram, there was just like posts, and then same with Facebook, just posts. Now there's like reels on Instagram, so like that's kind of the new thing.
Yeah, yeah, Reels. Well, that was like their competition for TikTok. So I pretty much Reels are just TikToks I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah,
Anyway,
they're just reposting
whenever
on
I'm on
Instagram.
TikTok, I turned off my notifications on TikTok because I don't. I got bothered by like I would have friends who would send me a lot of TikToks. And I'm just like I'm not gonna answer all these. And it's the same thing with Instagram. I turned off my notifications there because if I got all of those reels that Chris sends throughout the day, I would literally shoot myself in the face. Um, no, it's like it's so excessive. So I'm just like I want to turn it off, and I'll just check it at the end of the day, and maybe review a few if I feel like it.
Yeah, no, I pretty much have notifications for shit like that turned off on all platforms and whatnot, except for like the major ones. Obviously, like my work schedule and whatnot, my paycheck. That's it.
I get
Uh,
paid tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that's gonna go straight to bills, but
yeah.
anyway,
I mean, that's important though. So like that should be something you're looking forward to.
keeps the lights on. I would be looking forward to a future where we don't have to pay so much for housing and everything. Anyway,
Yeah, keep
no,
dreaming, buddy. Keep
I'm
dreaming.
gonna I'm gonna put a pause on my anti-capitalist rants, and I want to talk about actually the first thing I was just hearing about this is have you heard about the Jewish tunnels under New York City?
I've heard about it. and I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait, is this just like another racist thing, or like a bunch of neo-Nazis
It's like,
posting this?
well, okay, so it kind of got turned into a racist thing, but it's kind of like it's real. So like what happened was there was some rabbi, I think, who died in like 1994, so like 30 years ago now, which is like crazy. In oh my god, in 3 years I'll be 30. Anyway,
Oh, fuck. Don't remind me, man.
you'll be 30 now in 2 years from today. So holy
Ah,
shit.
fuck me, man. Ah, no.
But anyway, so he like died, and then like half of the sect had thought like, you know, so they argued over expanding this big synagogue in New York City, and half the sect was like, we should expand it. The other half was like, nah. And so the ones who were like, nah, stayed upstairs, and then the ones who said, yeah, let's change it or let's expand it, they stayed in the basement. And then, as a rebellion, they started, or as like in a rebellious nature, they started just building tunnels without like illegally, like the lady from TikTok, who was like, I don't remember what state she was in. I think it was Seattle or something. Not Seattle, Washington. But Seattle's the city. Um, she was fucking building. She was making a tunnel under her house in a suburban area, which is pretty illegal.
Yeah, which is
you need,
funny.
like,
The only reason why we know where she lives is because in one of her TikTok videos, she actually had like the van that helped gather like some parts and stuff for this project. Their fucking business was labeled on the side of the van, and it's a local place. It's not an international chain.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just doing it because she was bored, and that's like super illegal because you need like zoning and stuff and like permits. Anyway,
Well, not just that, but also like if you don't actually know what you're doing, like don't get me wrong,
it's
she seemed like
damaged infrastructure.
she did look like she was doing a decent job, but still, at the end of the day, it's like it's an infrastructure that's set to fail, possibly. Like,
No, totally. I mean,
yeah,
it was built by professionals, people who are trained in construction, know what they're doing.
exactly.
Uh,
That's someone who's bored and did like probably like some decent research and then started, doing a professional looking job, but like, is it that professional? We don't know. That's the
right.
worrisome
Yeah.
part.
I mean, she's not. What are her credentials? No.
Exactly.
So there was this half that like built the tunnel, and then so it's like it's real, and then like it got, I don't know, it got convoluted because like there was some guy who like tweeted, I don't remember his name. He's a schmuck anyway. Um, he tweeted that like it's like, see, he got like validation or whatever. He's like, oh, it's real. See, I've been hearing Jews in my basement for years, which is like a crazy thing to say. Um, well, not so crazy to tweet these days, um,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's like apparently some like person who like follows like Nick Fuentes and shit, and so like yeah, it got like hooked up
Ooh.
by it got picked up by neo Nazis, and and now it's like a rallying cry to like, oh, if you hear Jews in your basement, it's a whole racist thing. So that's cool.
I mean,
Not
look,
really
don't get me
into
wrong.
this.
Like, anti-Semitism is terrible. It's been happening for centuries and needs to fucking stop.
Just let the Jews be, man. Just what's wrong with them not eating pork? Anyway,
But on the other hand, if you're trying to avoid anti-Semitism, maybe don't do weird shit like that. That gets people thinking the wrong way.
well, this was started like in the like '90s into the 2000s, so they didn't. I don't know. I was obviously too young. I don't know what anti-Semitism looked like then, but now you've got the internet and shit, and like QAnon.
I
And
don't
so
know,
like
man.
that's
Like, you would think, like, post, like, 9/11, they'd be like, ah, given how quickly people can turn, maybe we should stop doing this shit, bro. Like,
mhm.
like
Yeah.
just think to yourself, do I trust the general public in accepting what I'm doing right now? Probably not, because they will find a way to make it a terrible thing. That's the issue.
I genuinely fear the average American because the average
Yeah,
American is not very well educated and has a gun probably. Which
exactly.
is not
That's
to be
why I
punished.
believe in
Other
the Second
countries,
Amendment. I just don't believe in the average American because I find them to be very fucking stupid.
yeah, no, seriously,
Yeah.
which they are. But anyway, so that's like been happening, and apparently that's the story behind it. That's a quick synopsis that even wasn't really particularly well explained, but it's kind of wild. I was like hearing about
Yeah.
that. because I've seen like Twitter is such a mess right now. I can't follow anything. I don't. My
Well,
TL looks so weird. It's all convoluted. The algorithm's all weird. So I
it's
haven't been
also
able to follow
overrun
the
by
stuff.
racists and people trying to sell you, sweatpants that you can jack off in. So
Is that a real product?
that's a real product. If you go to Bait World, that's an actual thing. Bait World, they have the jacking joggers.
Wait a minute. I've heard. Oh my god. Wait a minute. I saw a tweet about these and I was like, okay, this is a joke.
No, it's
It's
not.
not. Apparently. That's
Fucking the
cool.
website literally reads off as like, "Are you tired of cutting holes in your sweatpants just to check off?" Introducing the jacking joggers, a fucking zipper that reaches way below, farther than you imagine, to literally
How
pull
is
your
it?
whole cock balls out.
How is it that you're so impatient to jerk off that you need to like? You're like coming home from like a long day, maybe at the gym or something. You got your
Yeah,
joggers on.
yeah,
You're like, man, I could really like, nut right now. And like you need to like, you just need to run to the house. It's like I'm imagining like it's the situation where you have to pee, and then you're holding in your pee, and you're like waiting to get home, and then you're like getting home, and the pee sensation gets stronger. It's like that, but with and so like the jack and joggers are gonna help with that. You're running into the house, you're like, oh my god, get to a tissue, oh, like you know what I mean? Like
Jesus Christ.
it's like
I
don't
mean,
know. That's crazy to me.
it's also the idea that like if you're gonna do that, do it like any normal person does, okay? Like like hide in the fucking corner, butt naked, like you're Schmeagol himself, in the dark, and then just do it like rapidly. If someone comes in the room, you're like,
blinds closed, no one can see.
yeah,
like you have
just
to hide away. Like
you fucking
so
hiss at them like you're committing a crime against humanity.
well, kind of like when a man jerks off, it kind of is that way. Like it is a
Yeah,
crime against humanity because it's so volatile and disgusting.
yeah,
We have to turn the lights off. We have to keep the headphones on so no one knows what we're watching. Uh, we have to make sure we clear the evidence before anyone sees. We got to like not only
exactly,
throw the stuff, not only throw the tissue in the trash, we got to throw the whole trash bag out. You better make sure there's a full load in out of you and in the trash can.
exactly. Hand sanitizer, then wash your hands thoroughly. Hand sanitizer again, eliminate the smell. It's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, put on a fucking scented candle or some incense or something. Get rid of the smell.
Just fuck the hand sanitizer and soap entirely. Just pour a fucking bathtub of bleach and just take a 5-minute sit in there. Just really cleanse yourself after that.
Just get all the cum off of you. The smell of
Get the
shame.
sin off you. You need to bleach the sin off you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The jack joggers. That's a crazy Like, and imagine
Yeah.
like people. Like, wait. So hold on. So I'm trying to figure out the mechanic. Let me look it up. I need to like figure out the mechanics of it because I'm confused. So like you.
Yeah, viewers,
I'll
I'll put the image in post. Not the whole fucking text and everything, but I'll put the image in post and you'll know exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
Google
But
it.
yeah, it's literally like a jumpsuit in like literally like every like spy thing ever. It's like the amount the zipper goes down. It's like way beyond what you fucking imagine for a pair of sweatpants.
Let's see. So.
Jack and Joggers by Bait World.
Oh wait, the zipper's huge. Okay, so wait.
Yeah! That I literally meant pull your whole cock and balls out, and that's exactly what you can do with these pants.
Why don't you? How much effort is it to take your fucking pants off?
I don't
understand.
know. I think it's like I don't know. I guess some people get fucking cold when they have to do that. I'm like, well, fuck, man. Like, wear a blanket.
You need to. Well, the blanket might get messy. Do you need to stay warm while jerking off in the winter? Actually, it has been very cold up here. I don't know if you've noticed it down there.
That's why you have a blanket reserved specifically for this action. That's why you have
Blankets.
towels for like your hair and your body. Okay, it's like that's the towel for that, and then that's the towel for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You gotta have like blankets for that, and then blankets for sleeping like a normal person.
Blankets for sleeping and resting on the couch. You had a blanket for just cranking your fucking hog.
Exactly. Just
Jack
turning that thing
Joggers.
into a Picasso painting.
That's crazy to me. That's also for people who are weird for exhibitionists. That's just gonna give them more opportunity to show off their cock and balls on the train or something. You know what I mean? Like
That's a good point. Although
but I mean,
it would make for a decent public agent porn, though. Probably.
it probably would. Did you also hear about the guy who, like, speaking of nudity and penises, did you hear about the guy who's like he jumped into he skinny dipped into the fucking Bass Pro Shop aquarium?
I fucking love that story because like him climbing out, because it's a high drop between like the top of the aquarium to the bottom.
But belly flopped onto the concrete. Right?
Yeah, he belly flopped and fucking knocked himself out.
He knocked himself out. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So imagine that. He's laying there, splayed naked, knocked out, wet as fuck from the aquarium. Like, it literally, I saw the picture online. I'm like, this is a fucking Renaissance painting. Like, this is
Oh, seriously.
gorgeous.
That was. I mean, it's only been like 2 weeks into 2024, and we've got some insane shit. We got Jewish tunnels. We got men skinny dipping into fucking Bass Pro Shops. Also, he like. I don't mean to. Okay, I don't mean to make fun of people and sizes or anything. But like, really, did you feel the need to? You didn't. You're not showing off much. You really need to. Didn't need to do that, man. Like, come on, dude.
It's always the dudes with the small dicks that have, like, the most interest in exhibitionism and for some reason the most confidence to actually follow through with that. I don't know why that is, but apparently it's a consistent thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know what it is either, but it was just an odd detail I noticed. I was like, where's his dick? And like that was literally my first question. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't tell amongst the bush and his muffin top there. But no, I mean like that's just weird. Don't do that at the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah,
It's like,
don't. Especially if there's kids around, because then they're just going to slap on a ridiculous charge on you that is not going to go well for the rest of your life.
oh well, yeah. I mean, he's already got like it's a indecent exposure for sure. That's already a sex. He's probably gonna have to. He's certainly gonna have to register, I think. And
Yeah.
if it's in a public place, a public setting where there's kids around, that's probably like they can slap on like an exposing to an 8-year-old or something, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. I've been to like a Bass Pro Shops. Just keep it normal. It's just like a country shop. You just go get like fishing bait or guns or clothing or whatever the fuck you need.
Yeah.
I went to the one in. I think I've talked about it before. There was the pyramid in Tennessee,
Yes.
in Memphis. It was. I didn't even. I think it was funny because I didn't even realize it was out there until I like landed, and so then I was like, I had the last day there. I was like, well, I'm exploring downtown. Let's like go over to it, and so like I checked it out. It was pretty cool. I didn't do the balcony they have up there. That would have been nice, but
Well, they
anyway.
have a balcony at the top of the pyramid?
It's like an observation deck. You can like go up there. It's a long tower elevator, right? Like in the middle of it,
Well-
and you just kind of ride it up to a platform, and then you would go out to the observation deck.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a big enough place to have like an Italian like canal and also like a couple fast food chains, I imagine it's a very massive pyramid.
They had a Whataburger in there, which
Yeah.
it's not no, it was not Whataburger. It's Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers in there.
Because
Which
I
was
think
pretty
Whataburger might just be a Texan thing. I don't know if that is the case.
Whataburger is a Texan thing. That's
Yeah.
I haven't not had that, but I actually do want to go to Texas at some point. I just got to be very careful. I got to make sure I don't say I'm from California.
Well, no, that's where you go to, what the fuck is it? Austin, Texas, right? Yeah.
I think Austin's the one that's gentrified. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go to the. That's like the one case of gentrification I'm okay with because that's like it's away from all the craziness.
Yeah.
not
No, if you go to
not
rural
denigrate
Texas, it's a different story. Yeah.
Not to denigrate Texans or anything. I mean, I'm okay with it because they're just all gun-toting nuts out there. It's the desert. There's nothing to fucking do. I'm sure that's like, Anyway, but yeah, it was cool. So I mean, Wahlburgers was fine. I had like a jalapeno bacon burger, and I had a local beer. It was like a lager they had.
Nice.
Can't remember the name to save my life, but that was also like almost a year ago now. I went to Tennessee. My friend's trying to get me back out there. I gotta figure out if that vacation time works out because it's funny. So he's trying to get me to this one music festival that's out there in Tennessee, and then like the next weekend, my friends play a music festival in Daytona, which I'm definitely going to. My girl already booked the flight and the hotel room. I've got to slowly pay her back for that. But I'm trying to see if I can go because then I have to take a whole week off to like. Fly out to Tennessee, then spend a week or like a weekish there, fly back, then fly out to Daytona, and then fly back. Which would be dope.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if it works with work. I'd love to take all the vacation time I could. I love utilizing all that. It's which by the way, this is more anti-capitalist speak. Utilize your paid time off as much as you can. That is the one agreement you have. That is one of the few agreements you have with your job. And you want to make sure you utilize that because fuck them. It doesn't roll over, or maybe for some jobs it does. I think for my job it actually does roll over. I always use it every year and max it out. So Because I work too hard to not take a vacation. So anyway,
Well, not my job. I like my job too much, and the one vacation I did took actually panned out really, really well for me. They gave me all the days off, which was awesome. So yeah,
well, yeah, that was the only trip you took was the England trip, and then coming up here for like 2 days. Right?
yeah, yeah,
It's like a night, so like a day and a half, really.
yeah,
Um, well, you left early in the morning the next day, so it must have been like pretty much about a day's worth of being there.
yeah,
Which is fine. That's usually how it works out. I like doing day trips like that. Like I like going. I liked I did talk about it. We went to Petaluma.
yeah,
I almost said no, that's not it. So we went to Petaluma, my girl and I, for that night for the show. And it was really cool because it's just like we drove up, did the show, stayed the night in the hotel, drove back the next morning. Well, first we got breakfast, then we drove back, and that was like really easy too because it was only like an hour. It turned out to be like almost 2 hours driving back, and it was a little over 2 hours driving up, which was fine.
yeah,
Um, yeah, day trips like that are nice. But
yeah.
what was the main? Oh yeah, back to the Bass Pro Shop guy. So like he's, I think, in jail. The police picked him up and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably slapping anything related to his car crash before he stormed into the Bass Pro Shop. Because he was
wait,
driving recklessly and he slammed into, like, I think the side of the building before he, like, ran in and drew off all of his clothes.
was this dude loaded? He must have been fucking high, man.
I think so. Or having a psychotic break. It's one of those two. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a potential.
Yeah.
It could be any mental breakdown or substance induced or whatever it may be.
Yeah, so probably charges like driving recklessly, destruction of property, indecent and lewd behavior, and, indecent exposure, terrorizing citizens. I don't know all the police charges, but there's got to be like a lot of shit they're tacking him on with.
He was screaming something. Maybe they threw on criminal threats or something. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, and then we also got, speaking of criminals, we got that one guy who got a sentencing from a judge, and his decision was to tackle the judge.
Oh my god, yeah, he like catapulted and like he was like thrown. It was like he got thrown like a rag doll. Like it's like one of the Muppets like fucking gets thrown or something.
Yeah. Oh my
That's how he lost
god.
it. This was like so. It was a Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a probationary hearing, and she denied his request for probation. And I remember hearing the video. Like I'm sure. Okay, so first off, before we make jokes about it, the judge must have been very scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible. I hope she's okay. Like that's like very awful experience. He says quote fuck that bitch, and then like just jumps at her and then like tackles her and is like beating on her. And the next time he appears in court for the hearing on that charge for attacking I think it was like a protected, what's the charge, like assaulting a protected citizen or something.
Yeah.
There's like a muzzle on him, like he's like Hannibal Lecter or something.
Yeah, like a ratchet Hannibal Lecter, yeah. And funny enough, I saw that photo and someone tweeted that saying, oh man, he has the chance to do the funniest thing ever. If he jumps the judge again, I swear to God.
That'd be crazy. I mean, like, it's just, oh yeah, that's another part of 2024 that's insane. It's just the jumping at the judge. I mean, just like...
The best edit I saw of that was like, they took footage from like different angles, obviously, because it's a courtroom camera, so of course they're going to have different angles in the room. But someone edited it to look like a gameplay footage of Five Nights at Freddy's. Exactly. It's the best fucking thing ever, bro.
That's so awful.
I feel bad for the judge because that has got to be terrifying, but at the same time, the memes are fucking gold.
It's really funny. I really hope she's okay. That must have been a traumatic experience for sure. She looked older. Maybe she's close to retirement age, so maybe this will be like her push to that. And we hope it's
maybe.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
What was even his like charge beforehand? Like, it was a probationary hearing, so he was already like in jail for something.
I don't know, but given the fact that he was bold enough to charge the judge like that, I have to assume it was probably something violent. So I mean, yeah, it's probably justified that he was arrested and denied
probation. But like
probation.
It's also that is a good point. It's like it's no wonder he got denied probation if he's gonna act up like that.
Yeah.
that is definitely someone who's not stable. I mean, like, yeah, you can
No.
stuff, but like, man, turn to violence. Like, I don't know. I mean, and I've been in courtrooms where it gets loud and nuts and like things are intense. It's a very it's such a wild experience because like court is typically very like they try to be civil. They very much, in my experience, they try to speed shit along just because the criminal justice system in this country is so overpacked with cases. Because we just like to charge people with shit and for stupid little shit. Because here's what
Yeah.
happens when you get arrested, right? So when you get arrested, they throw as many charges on you as they can by legal definition, and then you have to like fight those cases in court and figure out what charges can be dropped or what can be kind of lowered, whatever, right? And so sitting in court, I've sat in court with clients before, and like it's usually very calm for the most part. And especially mental health court, it can be very unpredictable. They can really pop off. They can be, just kind of. It can be just a very hard day for them or something.
Yeah.
So I haven't ever seen anything dreadfully violent when I was in court. I don't think that I'm pretty sure if there was, I could recall. I mean, there's a lot of moments from working on in that program that I can recall, but court, the worst I think I'd seen was like they had to get like six COs on one dude to like wasn't one of my guys, but it was like they had to get six COs on one dude to cuff him and detain him and stuff. It was kind of crazy, and he was like
Jesus.
all yelling in person and pretty upset.
Yeah.
Uh, Sometimes the people who are in custody get pretty rowdy. But it's often very starkly like the mood shifts entirely, and like you kind of just like as an audience member, luckily you just kind of like recline back into the bench and you're like just watch and let the COs do what they're gonna do, because like when people start to get loud or rowdy, it like really breaks the civility that they're trying to keep in the courtroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I imagine that must have been nuts when that happened. Everyone must have been like, because I'm sure it was like moments before, it must have been like calm, quiet for the most part, probably. That like
Yeah.
they were just cases, and she was like, "Well, I'm denying that," and then he like just it went from 0 to 100 real quick, and that's how it always
Yeah.
is when like things pop up. It's crazy. It's very man. I forget sometimes that I was like in courtrooms for 3 years and doing that shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting system, man. It's pretty cool. And then you'd be like, it'd be funny. I'd be walking with clients back out, and we'd be talking about like, do you remember that one guy that was crazy? Like, it's like, oh my god. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it was cool. But yeah, that must have been again. Hoping the judge is okay. I haven't heard anything about her. We've just been seeing the video replayed on our TLs,
Yeah.
respectively.
Indeed.
But yeah, what else has been going on in the world?
It turns out it came out that Elon Musk might actually be doing a lot more drugs than you thought possible, because he's admitted to doing ketamine, but he's also done magic mushrooms, a little bit of weed, cocaine quite a few times.
Well, he smoked weed on the Joe Rogan podcast that one time, and I believe that he's done cocaine, or that he's regularly doing it still, because he's just kind of bad shit.
Yeah, he's also done crystal meth too, actually, at one point.
That also does not surprise me. He does not seem
Yeah.
like a guy who's like really like okay. I don't want to denigrate anyone who does drugs, but like meth is kind of one of those ones that really just rewires your chemistry and really just does something permanent to your brain. And so I believe that he's done cocaine because he's not the most like of sound mind. He's a fucking man child.
Yeah, with
And
daddy issues, with a lot of money and powerful connections. So, if he's bored, it's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do some cocaine. Why not?
and I'm sure he was on the Epstein list. But
Probably. Yeah, I'm waiting for the rest of those names to drop. It's like waiting for a fucking Kanye album. God damn it. It's weird.
it's kind of nuts how they keep like just kind of teasing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And they released the first set, and it was like Stephen Hawking was on that, and I'm not
Yeah.
surprisingly Bill Clinton, but like,
Yeah.
um,
I'd be kind of like very surprised if Bill Clinton wasn't on the list.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I liked how like all the news announcers were like, just because their names are on the list doesn't implicate them into any of the criminal activity. It's like,
I don't know,
you know,
man.
pretty pretty sus that they were doing that, and that like, and then it's, I watched like the Ghislaine Maxwell Ghislaine not Ghislaine Maxwell documentary they have on.
Ghislaine, come road.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
Well, there was probably a lot of coming done on that island, but so
Now you're gonna make me regret that joke, you fucker.
I am gonna regret that probably. But so I watched the Ghislaine Maxwell documentary, and from the sounds of it, people kind of had a sneaking suspicion, or like a pretty good understanding that like something was up with those two.
Yeah.
But no one said anything because they're rich and powerful. So it's like that's kind of the scary thing. And then
yeah.
So it does beg the question of like a little bit about like conformity, right? So like, I'm thinking about this in terms of a psychological perspective. Is like a lot of the research that was done in the '60s and '70s in psychology was like all around the idea of conformity, and mostly because like they were wondering like why did the Nazis do what they did, and like and there's a strong argument that like people were just they were doing it because they were told to. Some of them were just straight up evil. It's pretty awful.
Yeah.
But like so, there's people become complicit because it's like it's the safest route for them. Like there was like someone talking about it was one of the victims talking about in the documentary like she didn't want to challenge Ghislaine or Jeffrey in any way because she had it had been implied by them that there would be repercussions, and she like didn't want to face those, and obviously so it's a whole it's interesting. So it's there is that to be said, but then you wonder like who might have engaged with them in the activities. It's going to be I think it's going to be chaotic when that drops, and there's going to be a string of celebrities like they're probably right now all of them are like writing their like all the ones who like had visited the island, they're like all writing their fucking statements and stuff, and trying to save face. It'll be nuts. But I don't think any of them are gonna really surprise me. I really don't think. I don't know. It's it's just like it's all fucked up. I mean, like there was a comic, Sam J joking about how like all of our heroes are rapists now. It's like that's fucked up. And it's kind of true because like all these celebrities are like they all got Me Too'd years ago, and there's still stuff coming out, and then there's like I don't know, celebs are just fucking weird people, man.
That's why I have my heroes just as fictional characters, because they can do no wrong as long as the writing is consistent in their behavior.
Totally.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's all messy.
Because real people are fallible. Real people have some serious demons. Some are lighter on the scale than others, obviously, and then some are way off the fucking scales. So
yeah,
that's why I wasn't surprised with the Chris D'Elia thing coming out, because he got in trouble for sending news to
he was like
girls.
Snapchatting like 16-year-olds, right?
That's what it was, yeah. And
that's weird.
The only reason why I knew that he was fucking guilty immediately as soon as the rumor came out was because on stage, literally during one of his specials, he said, "I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do drugs, period. It's just not my thing." And I'm like, hold up. You don't have a vice of any kind in your life. None at all. You got some skeletons in the closet, my friend. You're into some weird shit. I know it. I can feel it, dog.
Yeah.
Anyone out there who says they don't genuinely have a vice, something that gives them a sort of guilty pleasure from doing it, I gotta say, I'm sorry, you got some serious demons. That's just...
People love doing weird shit, whether it be drugs or sex things, or if they get weirdly into religion. It's people just having their obsessions. They having their ways of living. They having their it's just a means to like kind of just deal with all the complications that life brings, you know.
Yeah,
So
and it can be like drugs like marijuana or like alcohol, or it can be religion or like just like a weird fandom that you're obsessed with. If it's like something that genuinely gives you pleasure and for the most part is not hurting anybody, I'm fine with that. But if there's no vice period in your life, then like there's some like really weird bad shit they're into. That's the thing. Because every human is addicted to something. It's one thing or another.
hmm
Yeah.
totally, we all have to figure stuff out. Speaking of
Yeah.
drugs, I actually want to circle back a little bit. We glossed over. Elon also says he's done mushrooms. Um, it's kind of surprising to me, like how much of an asshole you have to be. That when even after you've done mushrooms, you're still kind of an asshole.
That's the thing that most people who do mushrooms do like it like once or twice a year and have like a total ego death, like doing a
Mhm.
decent amount of mushrooms, going out to the woods, thinking about things they never thought about in a different way, and then come back a new and better person. Basically,
Yeah.
it keeps reminding them to be like to think out of yourself and actually be a better person. He does
Or
not
they have a
do
bad
that.
trip and they never do it again. You know, maybe they had a bad trip and they just like are like I don't want to touch that shit again, and so
Exactly.
it didn't really do anything good for them. So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
but I don't think that's the case with him. I think he not only enjoyed it, but he does all these drugs regularly without any self reflection for himself at all. That's the thing. If you were to microdose ketamine, like a normal person, like you can be a better person, but like he doesn't microdose. He fucking does ketamine on a regular basis, and then when he wants to really have fun, he does more ketamine than usual. That's a bad sign.
That's crazy to me.
Like he literally did so many drugs at some point that when he was at a meeting for one of his fucking space projects, because he sends rockets into space, he was slurring his words at the meeting, and he kept referring to his Big Falcon rockets, which is the actual technical name for the rockets. He kept referring to them as Big fucking Rocket. Like
That's really funny.
he was literally so fucked up. Someone else had to take charge of the meeting and like have him escorted out of the room while they figure out what the fuck they're doing with their rockets.
Dude, don't. Here's the moral of the story: don't show up loaded to work.
Yeah,
Show up,
just don't. Oh my god, I work at a brewery
show
and
up
I
sick.
fucking know that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for real. And you're surrounded by a product that could get you fucked up if you wanted to. You know what I
And I
mean?
happen
Like,
to like the product, obviously, but like,
relate.
you don't fucking get loaded at work. That's what? Especially if you're the CEO. Oh my god.
That's messy as shit, dog. That's not saying the right
Oh,
thing.
I
You
don't.
can get, you can I am at the 9 to 5 boys are absolutely all for. Like, you can get fucked up
Yeah.
after work. Don't get fucked up during work.
I don't care what political affiliation you are, but like if you're showing fucked up at work, that's just period like just wrong. That is bad on so many levels.
It's pretty. And also you could get caught and fired, and that shows up
Hmm.
like, that shows up on like a fucking reference. Like if you have to like tell people like your previous employer, they'll be like, oh yeah, the guy got fucking high on like ketamine and like showed up to work. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
Then you're not getting fired.
which is the sad part too, because like if some fucking minimum wage, wage cuck like you or I fucking did that, we would get fired immediately, like no question, no doubt about it. Not if you're the wealthiest man in the world. Apparently, you can do that on a regular basis, and no one fucking says anything until he fucks up enough times later, where you're like, oh yeah, that shit actually happened. I should tell you about that right now. Way beyond when it's too late to do anything about it.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I mean, like, well, he could just like, he's got enough apartheid money. He can like just fucking like leave that company and then go start a new one or something.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, he's.
Yeah, but his name has been burned so bad now, like with investors and like anyone with money. It's
Well, the ads.
phenomenally still doing the things that he does, but like I don't know, he doesn't have that much good reputation left. You know?
Yeah, the ads on Twitter are weird now. It's just a bunch of like OnlyFans and like for a while it was like Jameson was like advertising, I think, but then
The Irish whiskey.
yeah, I stopped seeing those. And then
Huh.
I don't really care for Jameson. They have good pre-made cocktail stuff though. I will
Yeah.
say. I will look at it's pretty good.
I mean,
Rottenhammer's better.
Personally,
Um,
I think the best Irish whiskey is John L. Sullivan Irish whiskey, but that is just me personally.
okay, I'm not
Yeah.
much of a whiskey guy, so I don't try a lot of whiskeys. I don't drink a lot of whiskey.
Yeah.
It's my go-to liquors are like vodka or tequila or
Mm.
Jaeger. I like Jaeger a lot.
Fucking Jaeger's
Um,
amazing, dude. I'm glad that you appreciate Jaeger as much as I do.
Jaeger is well, yeah, I mostly just do it with Jaeger bombs, and then apparently there was research. I might have mentioned this. There was research that suggests that Jaeger bombs are as dangerous as doing like cocaine.
Oh my god. Okay, stop doing Jaeger bombs. Just fucking cut out the Monster entirely, or Red Bull, or whatever you use. Just drink the straight Jaeger.
Yeah, I could just. It is. You could. I could just drink it straight.
Or
I
fuck, you
actually
could
quite
do the
like.
cold brew Jaeger, because that shit literally tastes like cold brew coffee. It just gets you fucked up.
Nice.
Yeah. Pour that over ice, or over ice cream. It's amazing.
Oh, over ice. Yeah, like an ounce over ice cream. That'd be sick.
Yeah. It's
But
gotta be the cold brew, not the
well,
regular. If you're doing the regular, you're doing shots of it, either sipping it slowly with dinner, like a traditional German would, or if you're wanting to pregame before going out, then you do shots of that. But just don't fucking mix the energy drinks with the Jaeger. Jesus.
well, I do Red Bulls every day anyway on the regular, which I maybe shouldn't. But once I start drinking again, I think this year I might explore liquor more often than beer. I think I'll do that.
Yeah, because it's low
That'll be
calorie. So,
it is lower calorie, and it's like I also want to just like expand my palate a little bit.
yeah.
Um, Try out some different stuff. We try out new cocktails and things.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So back to what were we on about? Oh yeah. So the advertisements on Twitter are weird. So he's burned every bridge. He's there's been the new. Okay, so here's the thing. It's like there's been the new. There's like a new bumper sticker they had that's like that you could that people with Teslas buy, and it says, "I bought this before I knew about Elon's Musk," which is like, that's it's a little funny, but it's also like if you really don't like the guy, then just go turn in his fucking car, just go return it or whatever. Like, don't fucking drive it.
Yeah,
Um,
or sell it to some weirdo who's got the hardest of hard-ons for him, and the hardest of hard-ons for anyone that isn't a white American, apparently. Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Didn't they also? There's something wrong with Teslas. They like wasn't it like I think a year or two ago it came out that like it lied about its mileage on like on a full charge.
I think it was actually the Cybertruck they lied about, but if we're talking
Oh,
about
the
Teslas,
Cybertruck.
yeah, it was
Okay,
a
yeah.
Cybertruck, because the mileage on a Cybertruck is terrible. Yeah.
I saw one of those in real life recently. I was like, why the fuck would you buy such an ugly thing?
I don't know, especially since I knew what the inside was going to be, too. It's like, you know how, like, a truck actually has,
It's
like, all the
ugly.
perfect lining and everything? Like, everything looks full and contoured, perfectly fit a passenger inside and have all the maximum features, right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, no, fucking Cybertruck does not. It's like, you might as well have a fucking computer desk, like what I have right now, made out of fucking marble, out of all things, and then a steering wheel jammed right through it.
Dude, the interior even looks like shit. What the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
is this
exactly what I'm talking about.
equipment?
The fucking interior sucks. It's like, it's like a kitchen countertop you decided to slap car parts around. It's like, what the fuck?
It's insanely awful. Why the fuck? Who's on the design team for this shit? This shit sucks,
I
dude.
fucking guarantee you Elon did that shit all himself. I guarantee you that's exactly what happened.
Those seats look so uncomfortable. It literally
Yeah.
looks like a gaming chair. That's crazy.
I'll tell you what, though, after learning some new things about the car company Saab, I kind of want to sob.
Wait, what's? Oh, because they like used to design weapons, or they design.
Yeah, they used to design military equipment, and I'm just like, you're fucking kidding me. And I look like my friend Tim, he was like, yeah, no, I'll send you a follow up on that one. And apparently, Saab not only makes great military equipment, they make the best submarine in the world, military submarine.
Oh shit. Okay.
They ran war games
Crazy.
with it on how well it can do in an actual combat situation. It can literally destroy multiple U.S. ships and not get spotted on sonar once. Yeah.
Sub be doing some crazy things over there. Goddamn.
And literally, Saab's advertisements are like, you got flying jets and shit. It's like, Saab started off as a military company. If they're good enough for planes, they're good enough for you on the road. And they have a fucking Saab driving under these jets. And I was just like, fuck, now
That's
I kind of want a
sick.
Saab. Because, again, if they make great military equipment, what the fuck are they doing with the automobile? I want to see what they can do.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. That shit's gonna have power steering. Um, but yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm happy with my Nissan. I don't think there's any problems with the company. I saw that fucking Gran Turismo movie,
Mm. Was
which
it good?
was
Or...
not. It's pretty mediocre. I'd probably give it a 6. A really awful movie though, dude. Is Lucy, but I'll get to that in a moment. So Gran Turismo, it was fine. It wasn't like emotionally really driving. I think the main kid in it um, did pretty alright, but it was yeah, it was just fine. It wasn't like it didn't stand out. I didn't really care for it at the end. I was like, okay, cool. I knew he was gonna win. It's like the whole setup,
Yeah.
right? They're like whole movie. They're like, oh, he can't do it. He's just some loser gamer, and then he fucking does it, and it's like that's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that movie was fine. If you feel bored and want to put it on, go for it. A movie you should not watch is the 2012 movie Lucy. So it stars Scarlett Johansson. You got Morgan Freeman. Um, you got the one guy from Old Boy. I don't remember the actor's name, but he's in it. And um, at least I think he's from. I hope I'm right that he's from Old Boy.
I think you're right, because I did see Lucy, and I probably recognize one of the guys in there as, you know...
Oh, you saw Lucy?
Yeah, I saw Lucy.
It's.
I mean, I vaguely remember it, but
So
I can kind of see the premise. No, the premise was okay. I mean, it's a cool science fiction movie and whatnot, but it would have been fine if it actually is somewhat proven that there isn't actually 100% use capacity of the brain being used when actual neuroscientists came out and said it's like, no, that's bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about?
it's literally the dumbest thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like of course so the whole point is like it's they're talking about increasing our the use of our prefrontal cortex is what it sounds like, right? Because
Yeah.
the structure of the brain, the prefrontal cortex is where all our thoughts are, our personality, etc. It's where critical thinking is done, and they're talking about like expanding that beyond anything. But we're using 100% of our brain in different capacities. There's like parts of the brain that control like our fucking heart. There's parts of the
Yeah.
brain that like you know keep our memory, etc. It's just all doing these different things. It's like it's such a it starts off with a really foolish concept, and then there's like a drug that like can increase that, and then they're like, oh, if you like unlock this potential, you can do all these things that are super metaphysical, and you can't fucking do that.
I guarantee you this director took an edible and watched Akira and Ghost in the Shell, the originals, back to back, fell asleep, woke up the next morning, popped a couple Adderall, and figured, oh god, I gotta do something with this energy, and then just fucking cranked out this movie based on what he saw the night before.
Yeah, and like my big problem with it, one of the things that annoyed me, it's not just the idea that like of using 100% of your brain. It was like she became more knowledgeable and was able to translate languages, and I'm like, that's not how any of that works. You don't just like gain knowledge by like increasing your brain power. You have to like study shit. You can like use like great brain power to like pick up on shit, but you have to like study that shit. You can't just like
Yeah.
speak languages. And anyway, so that was it was just
Yeah.
so it was so fucking dumb, and it was so boring too. I was just like at a point I was like, I'm bored with this. I don't care about this anymore because it's lost me with the concept. I'm like I don't care. And then like Scarlett Johansson like shortly after like become like unlocking her potential or whatever, she just becomes monotone and boring, and I'm like now I just don't fucking care for her. It's like just because she's like super smart or whatever, it's like
Yeah.
she's supposed to be this bland character. Like what the fuck? I don't care. It was an awful movie.
Yeah.
I recommend.
The only way that movie could have worked and actually moved fluidly was if it wasn't unlocking your 100% brain power and doing everything because you're superhuman. No. Gain psychokinetic powers and start on like a lower scale. You know, like you get basic telekinesis, telepathy, shit like that. But the more you use it, the more you increase it, the more you become godlike, basically.
Yeah, like just talk about like telekinesis or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
then
just,
you can throw out whatever bullshit you want and it fucking works because people are like, well, that's not a real power anyway, so of course I'm going to be 100% invested on how this might actually work because I need to make sense of it all.
totally. But
Yeah.
yeah, that movie was ass. I watched it the other night just out of boredom. A good movie I watched though is Good Time.
Oh,
The Robert Pattinson movie.
fucking so good. It's so raw. It's like insane.
It was really, dude, it was like, some points I was like really anxious, and he was like, and I was just watching the whole story, and I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen next? And it's just like crazy, and there's going to be spoilers real quick, because I'm going to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah,
So,
spoilers here if you haven't seen Good Time, but go out and watch it. It's fucking great. Robert
Go out and watch
Pattinson, like, it's
Great
amazing.
Robert Pattinson flick. It really shows off his acting skills. He plays this like this really good New Yorker. He's like, it's really funny at points, and he's also really like, he's like on some Hitman, like Agent 47 bullshit.
Yeah,
I
I know
was like,
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
This movie's awesome. So anyway, so he like the like he just so he's the plot is him trying to get like his brother back, right? Like so they have the bank robbery that goes like awry. His brother gets arrested and gets his ass beat in jail, and then he's like, okay, let me figure out how to get him out. Jennifer Jason Leigh's in it for like a little bit.
Yeah, she plays his like kind of girlfriend, I guess, which is like interesting.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cougar action, cool.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, mad respect.
so,
Out of
like,
anyone to pick, like she's definitely top of the list for me. I mean, shit.
mad respect, yeah.
Yeah.
She hella bad.
Hell
so,
yeah. She got an
like
N-word pass.
Damn it. So he's like, he tries to bail the brother out. That doesn't work. So then he's like, he hears that he's at the hospital. So he's like, okay, let me go find him at the hospital. And he picks up a guy who he thinks is his brother. And then we find out like, the guy wakes up. I remember this scene. I was watching it. The guy wakes up and he starts talking. And I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like his brother. Oh shit, that's not his brother. And I was like, oh my god. And so the twists and turns this movie takes is insane. I like the way that the story was told. Like the guy's story about like how he did a bunch of acid and like after getting out of prison and like was doing a bunch of crazy shit. I like the way that story was told. I really think that was a really fun and smart way to do that. And like it was really invested. And it was all in the midst of like just him sitting in the backseat of the car, but like it shows you everything that was going on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then they're going on their little adventure together to like try and get funds, and they're having to trust each other. They're like they sneak in, they take the fucking security guards like apartment key and go in there, and then I was like, when is this gonna? It's gonna end in him just in cuffs. Like this is not gonna. He's not like his character Connie was doing a really good job of being like really smart and doing a bunch of shit. But I was like, he's not gonna make it out of this. There's a manhunt for him. Like there's cops rolling everywhere. Like the film did a really good job of putting you in his shoes, which I really appreciated and respected. It was really, yeah, it was just really, I was really impressed by it. I was like, wow, that's a great movie. And it's really self-contained. It's all just happening over in like one night or like in one day and night. So it's like that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's just the escalation too. It's like, you know.
Yeah, doing all this crazy shit. And then the brother eventually, it ends with him being out and about and at that program or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a really, he was the one I felt bad for in the movie. I was like, he doesn't really understand fully, I think, what's going on. But he must be hurting because it's like, he's got that. Benny Safdie is really good at expressing like a lot of emotion with just one look, and it's really interesting. It was also the weirdest part of the movie was when Robert Pattinson was making out with a 16-year-old, but like I was like, whatever, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That was a little, but I mean, I was like watching it, I was like, okay, so first off, it's not okay. That was like that was the part of the movie where I was like, he kind of lost me as a character. I was like, okay, I'm kind of like on his story. He's just trying to protect his brother. And then he like lunges in to kiss her, but he's like trying to block the TV screen because she would see his face on the TV, see that he's like that he was in jail.
Yeah.
And so he was just trying to like keep the facade up. So I get it, but I was also like, this is fucking odd. Can this please end soon? I felt really bad for her too. She kind of got roped into stuff, um, and then
Yeah,
eventually
because
like got picked up by the
didn't he
cops.
fucking steal her car, her mom's car? Yeah.
They took the mom's car. They were gonna take the guy back to the hospital. The hospital was roaming with cops, and so then they
Yeah.
like stopped. So then they had to go to that amusement park, Adventureland, to go get the fucking acid, and then like the cops showed up because the security guard called, and so they found her lurking around, and he was like, Connie was disguised as the security guard, and said, "No, I don't know her, dude." And so the cop just like threw her in the back of the car and then took her away. So
Yeah.
you know,
So Jesus
just
Christ. Yeah. No, other than the strange, crazy ass premise of this movie, Good Time is a really, really good time. A
it is a good watch. Highly recommend that movie.
yeah.
Really, I didn't know what to expect from it. I was like, okay, this is like, it's a Robert Pattinson flick. I thought it was gonna be like the meme of him standing in the kitchen.
No, I think that was something that his friend took a picture of. I don't know how that picture
Oh,
came
okay.
about, but like it's still the funniest little thing I've ever found.
Robert Pattinson also does really good with accents. He like did a really good
Yeah.
American accent in this movie. He did a crazy one for The Boy and the Heron. Um,
Interesting.
no, like he's nuts in that. That's actually a really good watch too. That was I think that won a Golden Globe the other night.
Yeah, I keep seeing ads for that one, so I should check it out.
I think it's out of theaters now, but when it comes on streaming, like I think it's gonna be on Max probably. Go check it out.
Okay.
It's a really good watch. I really enjoyed it.
Part of me wants to go
Again,
to
like
the local theater in our town, the Palm Theater, and just like see Howl's Moving Castle because I have not seen Howl's Moving Castle.
just showing of it,
But they have a showing of it. Yeah.
dude, go check it out. It's Christian Bale playing this like mythical creature. It's like really good.
Yeah.
I mean, in the dubbed version at least, it's a really cool story. So it's this guy Howl. It just kind of wanders around, and he's this like mythical being, and he's got this like kind of girlfriend, um, this one gal who like goes with him and is kind of exploring and stuff. I think Billy Crystal plays like the fire pit, which is cool. Anyway, it's a good watch. I mean, there's a Studio Ghibli has some great. My favorite Studio Ghibli has got to be probably Castle in the Sky. I think is a really good one.
Okay.
It's got like James Vanderbeek and Mark Hamill plays the villain in that movie.
Oh damn!
Mark
I
Hamill was also in The Boy and the Heron, and Dave Bautista's in there too.
oh shit! Okay, the boy Dave Batista. Damn! All right.
And I was also in The Boy and the Heron. Uh, yeah, it was a good watch. It was I actually want to rewatch that movie. It was really fun.
Well, I rewatched Sicario today on my birthday, and that's still a great fucking film. I love Sicario.
That's a Denis Villeneuve joint, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of
I
his
watched
best ones. Like it hits all the marks of like beautiful cinematography, great thematic, imagery going on with the whole use of like light and dark shots, and an absolutely stacked cast. It's got Emily Blunt, Daniel Kaluuya, Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin.
I think you've told me about this cast. I need to watch that movie.
It's fucking dark too. It starts off like real fucking dark.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
but
need
it's
to
really
be-
well done. Anyone who likes like crime thrillers and whatnot, and like anything with like lots of military dudes in it, it's like perfect.
I rewatched. Speaking of dark, I rewatched the movie The Iron Claw this week.
Oh man, you rewatch that
Because
film?
oh yeah, because wait, so I went to go see it. I think last Thursday when we recorded,
Yeah.
and I hadn't actually talked about it yet. But oh my god! So yeah, I did rewatch it. I rewatched it this. I think it was Monday. I went with Kate because she hadn't seen it, and okay, it's a really great movie. Zac Efron shines. He's like acting his fucking ass off. But it is tragic, dude. It is a
Yeah.
tragic movie. It's the first half is just really nice to watch. It's really good to see like this connection of brothers, and then everything just hits the fan in the second half. But it's a really powerful movie. I really enjoyed it. Bring the tissues. It's great. It's a
Yeah.
great movie. Definitely go watch it. That's my recommendation. Kate was like, Gil, I don't like this movie. It's too sad. I'm like, I know, it's just fucking sad. It's
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 fucking
just all
sad as shit, but we're watching it anyways. It's fucking Academy Award winning gold. God damn it.
God damn it. Yeah, no, for real. And it's got the boy Jeremy Allen White's got cousin. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly,
love that.
bro. Oh my god. He got fucking jacked for that movie, bro. Like, he looks like a Smiling Friends character.
He got they're
Yeah.
all dude. Zac Efron is fucking jacked. He's got
Oh, and he's got the
Come
fucking
good.
jawline to match now, too. It's like fucking insane. I'm like, damn. If
it's crazy.
if he
Beefy
fucking
boys.
wants to knock me out, he probably will. So, like, yeah.
Yeah. He could take a swing. But
Yeah.
I think on that note, it's been about an hour here. We will finish recording the special birthday edition of the 9 to 5 Boys.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We are clocking out.
Yep. Klachink.